Hi YouTube family, it is I, Sanika. Oh my goodness, I have so much for y'all to catch up on, so much for me to catch y'all up on. It has been a trying couple of weeks. I think my last update I was 17 weeks or 18. 17. That was my last update. And I am now 20 weeks. Hallelujah. Praise God. Won't He do it? I'm so grateful to make it to this far. You know, I mean, you could say I'm halfway through, but really I got like 16 weeks in a few days because, you know, they plan to do C-section at 37 weeks. They won't let me go past it. So, 20 weeks and 4 days, I believe. So, 16 weeks and 2 days. I could officially be holding my baby in my arms, holding her. I am so excited for that to happen. And I'm so ready because I'm like over being pregnant, y'all. But, so, let's get in week 18 and 19, okay? Because it's been traumatizing, y'all. Okay, so first, week 18, you know, I was still dealing with the mastitis in my breast. What happened was they put me on antibiotics, and in the beginning it was working, and then after being on it for a week, it started developing because I had it in my left breast, and about a week into it, it moved over to the right. And a week into the antibiotics, like the left was getting better, but the right started coming out, which was weird because I'm on antibiotics. Whatever was there should have flushed it out, right? So not with me. So week 18, not really much happened that week besides with the mastitis. I mean, I was still vomiting. Not really nausea, but just whenever I eat something, I would throw it up. And it probably happened like 3 times that week. That was all that I really had to report. And then I told y'all, or maybe I told y'all about week 9. I don't remember. But week 19, I had my anatomy scan. Yay! I have pictures, y'all. Ugh. Excuse me. I am in the midst of cleaning my room right now, trying to organize. But there she is. Look at her, y'all. Isn't she adorable? And then this one, y'all, she was giving us like a little heart thing with her hands like this. She was doing that. Oh, it fell. If you can see it, like right there. Her hands was like shaped like a heart. And then this top one is of her nose and lips. Oh my goodness, don't that look creepy? Like she got teeth or something? But, so had my anatomy scan, went in for my anatomy scan, 19 weeks. She weighs 10 ounces. Well, she weighed 10 ounces at the time. I'm sure she's gotten bigger since then. I thought she'd be bigger because she feels bigger, but 10 ounces. She said that was normal for that gestation. Also, they found fluid in her kidneys, and I think they say she said 1.4 centimeters or millimeters of fluid around her right kidney. That was the only thing that came back abnormal. But she told me she thinks that it's going to dissolve itself before she's born. I'm not really worried about it. I put it in God's hands. Like, I didn't even fret. I was just like, okay. She said, because she said it's a markers for Downs, but my genetic test came back that, 1 in over 1,000 chance of her having any genetic problems. And that was the only marker that she had. Everything else came back normal. So she said she really thinks it's going to dissolve itself, but they're going to keep a watch on it. If it gets over 7 point something 3 or something like that, she said that is when they worry. But even so, after she's born, all they'll do is watch it when she gets, watch it at the doctor's. So that was the only thing that came out of that appointment. But then I explained to her about my breasts. So she sent me back up to the practitioner, and she told me that, they looked at it, and so they put me on another antibiotic. Y'all, I have been on 4 antibiotics for the past 2 weeks. 3 weeks. 4 different antibiotics. None of them seem to work. So, week 19, I started getting sick. I started having fever, chills, couldn't keep anything down, y'all. I was like constantly throwing up. I could drink water and I was throwing it up. I couldn't even keep the antibiotics down because it was just like I was just sick. I felt lethargic. Week 19 was like really, really rough for me. I mean, I was in bed. I mean, I stay in bed most of the time anyway because of my disease, because I can't overact my lungs. But this time when I was in bed, it was just like all I did was sleep. I just felt like very lethargic. I just couldn't move. I didn't know what was wrong with me. But again, I didn't think it had anything to do with my breast. So now, in week 18, y'all, when, I didn't really, I kept getting people advice on what to do about mastitis. A lot of people was giving me things, because it's so rare to get it while you're pregnant. And a lot of people just got it after they were pregnant. So I decided to go to like a breastfeeding class, y'all, thinking that the lady can give me advice on what to do, because, people up in there probably have mastitis if they breastfeeding or anything, or have in the past, and she knows everything and supposed to know everything about it, right? So I was telling her about it, and she was giving me tips. She was like, go home and run some hot water, like when you take a shower, run some hot water on your breast, let the water shower run on your breast, hot water, or fill your sink up with hot water, dip your breast in there. And so I had did that in week 19. Y'all, my breast was so engorged. They were sitting out to here. I didn't even recognize my own breasts. Y'all, they was just huge. They felt like big rock boulders because they got so engorged from me putting them in that heat. I was in here crying to my husband. I didn't want my shirt to touch me. I didn't want nothing to touch me. I just wanted to sit there naked because I didn't want nothing to touch me because I was in so much pain. And I was like, what in the world? And I didn't think about it with the hot water because I had did it that morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't really think anything that's what the problem was. And I was like, what could it be? Why? I just couldn't understand why my breast was just like so huge. And then my husband was like, well, what did you do? What happened? Did you do anything different to him? I was like, I don't think. Then it clicked. I said, the hot water. I said, a lady told me to put hot water on my breast. And she was like, well, maybe that's what it made me to put some cold water, because there's a lot of people who I have been talking to told me, cold compress. And I didn't, like, some people telling me warm compress, some people telling me cold compress. So when I actually went to the breastfeeding class and she told me hot compress, I figured, okay, she must be right. She a teacher. She took a class about this. She studied it. Y'all, if I see that lady, I think I'm gonna punch her in the face. I think I'm just gonna, like, right in the nose. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in agony for 2 days crying because my breast hurt. My breast had gotten so big, y'all. Now I have, like, when they finally went down, my skin stretched. And now I got these big old whelps of stretch marks right up in here because of it. It's ridiculous. So my husband went and, like, put towels in, like, the freezer and just wrapped them up around me, and I just had to lay there with them, and then they finally went down. And then it was like right after that I got sick, and I started throwing up and fever and everything, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So I went and called my doctor. No, I had an appointment that Tuesday. So I said, because that was that weekend that happened. So I had an appointment that Tuesday. And I had just made 20 weeks. So she asked me how my breasts was doing, and I told her they weren't getting better. She asked to see them, and she was like, yeah, they're not getting better. So she was like, we need to change your antibiotics. And then I was in the office. I was throwing up in her office. And she was like, we're just going to change your antibiotics again because the ones you're on obviously is not working. So I was like, fine. And so I left, came home, and she called me back like an hour later, and she said, we need you to come in and do some blood work. And I told her, I said, okay. I told her that I still wasn't feeling well, that I threw up again. Y'all, I was throwing up. I had to, like, on the way home from driving home from the doctor, I was throwing up in the, had to pull the car aside, just throw up. Then when I got home, and then I wasn't throwing up nothing but acid in my stomach. And then I was just dry heaving because nothing else was in there. And then when I got home, I started drinking some water. I threw that up. And I took another antibiotic water, and I threw that up. And I was just like, oh my goodness, So when I went back to the office to go do my blood work, as soon as I stepped off the elevator, I started feeling woozy. Like, it was like, I don't know, I was like, and I was like, whoa, something like hit me, and I stopped, and I was like, whoa. And then it was like every step I took, it was like getting darker and darker, and I was like, okay. And I remember I was watching, oh my goodness, I can't remember her name, but she was telling me that she was about to pass out, and what she did was, her doctor told her next time she feel that way to take a knee, because when you fall, you already be down on the floor. And I knew I was about to pass out because I remember last time I passed out how everything just went black, and I just hit the floor and I went head first. And I was like, I didn't want to do that because if I go head first, I'm hit my stomach. So the next step I took, I just eased my way down, and I got on all fours, and I stayed down there. So they finally came and got me, took me to the back, took my temperature. My temperature was high. I'm still vomiting. They're like, okay, you have to go to the hospital. And I was like, excuse me? She was like, yeah, we're going to admit you to the hospital. That was Tuesday. So they're telling me, oh, so obviously us giving you antibiotics by mouth is not working, so we're going to give you antibiotics by IV. They're like, you need to see an infectious doctor, you need to see a breast doctor, you need to see a surgeon. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? I was like, I don't have to go to home. I can do this at home. They was like, no, we have to give you IV, because then it was like, oh yeah, and then she told me, no, when they test my pee, I was dehydrated. No, of course I was dehydrated because I had been throwing up for like days. And she was like, yeah, so you really need to go to the doctor. Go in the hospital. So they wheeled me across the street, because the hospital is right across the street from a doctor's office. And so that's where I have been for the last few days. I was in there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I didn't get out till Friday last night at about 7 o'clock. And I had to beg them to let me out because they wanted me to stay longer. And I was like, no. Y'all, I was so miserable. A hospital is not a place, like, it's just, you can't rest. Every hour somebody coming in there, let me take your temperature, let me take your blood pressure, let me check the heartbeat, how you doing? Why is you asking me how I'm doing? Ain't nothing changed from the last hour you came up here and asked me how I'm doing. Waking me up just to see if I'm awake. They do have to do breathing checks. So you wake me up to see if I'm breathing. You can't like just put your hand on my nose or just, you know, like something to see if I'm snoring. I'm probably snoring because I'm asleep. So why are you waking me up just to see if I'm breathing? My blood pressure was like really high because they were like aggravating me. Then on top of that, you know, they had to give me IV fluids, and I was using the bathroom every 30 minutes. Every 30 minutes I had to get up and go to the bathroom. And I'm not joking, y'all. Every 30 minutes I had to get up to use the bathroom. And it wasn't like a little tingle. It was like pouring out of me. And I was like, who pays this much, y'all? You know how like when you have a cold and you keep blowing your nose and you blow your nose and then all your nose get red and, you know, the tissue, everything just hurt. That is how my mini felt. Because I wiped myself so much from peeing. It was horrible. So that is what my last 2 weeks, that's what I've been dealing with. I've and the thing about it is that Tuesday I had planned on doing an update right before I was about to go in the office. I was like, well, let me go ahead and update them before I go into the doctor's office. But I started throwing up, and I was like, let me get in the doctor's office. So they had me on antibiotics. I doing a very strong antibiotic. Even the nurse was like, I've never heard of this. The infectious doctor put me on it. And Terra something. And I had to take that twice a day through IV. And so yesterday, y'all, I had 5 different doctors come see me. My original OB, I never saw him. I guess he was on vacation again, or he was off. I don't know what. But, you know, he was passing the buck to everybody else. So I saw like 5 different doctors and got like 5 different answers. Like every time somebody came in there, they had something different to say about it. And I was just like, what's the plan? Because every doctor came in here with a different plan. So Friday I'm like, something has to give. Y'all need to let me go home. Because y'all don't even know. Every doctor that come up in here telling me, oh, you can go home Friday. Oh, no, you can't go home till Saturday. Oh, no, you need to stay for the weekend. Oh, no, this and this and that. Oh, no. I'm just like, oh, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. Next doctor comes in and say, okay, so this is what we're going to do. But look, the other doctor said we was going to do this. And all y'all say y'all reading each other notes. So either the doctor who telling me one thing and writing another thing in the computer, like, what the heck? Y'all like really aggravating me. I'm ready to go home, y'all. That hospital bed is not comfortable. And I have SPD in my pelvic bone. Y'all, that's another symptom that came up in week 18. My pelvic bone constantly aches. It cracks every time I get up. If I turn in bed, if I move, whatever, it just cracks. It aches. Oh my goodness, this is my pelvic bone and my tailbone constantly. So now I gotta take physical therapy go to physical therapy for that. And so I'm always in pain. Yeah. Did I mention that I'm so over this pregnancy? Oh, so over this pregnancy. Yeah. But so there's that. And that's basically what I've been putting up with. It's the mastitis is still going. I really wish I could show y'all, but I know there's like men who watch. So I don't want to give them a little thrill. I mean, I know I don't look like much and all that right now, but you know, you see some tatas, you might go a little crazy, and I'll be like the million. This video have 1 million views on it because they want to look at some tatas, because you know they like to look at pregnant women's stomach. But yeah. So that basically is what I've been dealing with. This another pregnancy symptom that I am having is, ladies, are y'all shaving? I can't shave when I'm pregnant. I get serious hair bumps and they become infected, especially when I shave my mini. Whenever I shave my mini, I get hair bumps like the size of a quarter, and they fill up with pus, and it's like sometimes it's horrible. I can't shave under my arm. Same thing under my arm, my legs. So right now I'm like the hairy monster, like all over. And even I try, and then I say, okay, I can't go wrong with nail, right? Same thing happened. As soon as the hair started growing back, I got hair bumps. So, and doctor told me that, she's like, you can't shave. You just can't shave. I still have the burning when I urinate. They telling me that, you know, it's nothing they can do. Obviously, it's a pregnancy thing. Reason why it's burning, because there's no other reason, especially since I've been on all these antibiotics and everything. And then being on all these antibiotics, you know you get yeast infection. So, that started up yesterday. My mini was like on fire, itching and everything, and I was like, oh my goodness. So they gave me a pill. I don't have to take a cream. They gave me a pill. I never knew you could take a pill for a yeast infection. So they gave me a pill, and then I got a thrush all in my mouth from all the antibiotics. So I gotta swish this stuff in my mouth 4 times a day. And it's like, I feel like I'm getting hit, bam, bam, bam. But in the end, it'll all be worth it. I mean, y'all, when I was laying in that hospital, because they have you in postpartum, on labor delivery for and postpartum, and when I was laying in the hospital, y'all, I I remember one night I was asleep, and I had this dream that this baby was crying. I heard this crying. I don't know if I was dreaming or not, but I don't think I was dreaming. But I heard this baby crying and crying and crying, and maybe I was dreaming. I don't know. And so and when I opened my eyes, I was expecting to see my baby in the baby bed next to me, but there was no baby bed. But the baby that was crying was next door, and I just thought that was like the most beautiful sound in the world, and I cannot wait until that is us. And I woke my husband up, and I was like, "Babe, you hear the baby crying?" He was like, "No," and I'm like, "Just listen." And so he was like, "Yeah, I hear it," and I was like, "That's gonna be us in like 17 weeks." And we both just smiled, just the thought of it. You know, and that's the next time I want to see that hospital, in 17 weeks. Nothing more. I don't want to see that hospital again. So serious. So the plan is, how I got them to give me the leave is I have to take more antibiotics by mouth 4 times a day. And I go back next week, Tuesday, and see the doctor. And if they're not better, they're going to give me IV at home through this. I got a PICC line in, and this PICC line goes in through a vein through my arm and into my chest right now. So that's what I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be on IVs at home. But the infectious doctor was off, and so they couldn't talk to him to get a plan done because he was off to Friday. And he said that I had to get antibiotics at home, but because he didn't write it up, then they couldn't get in touch with him. They told me, you know, that's why they were trying to get me to stay till he came back till Monday. And I continued the IV medicine, and I was like, nah, I'm ready to go home. He told me I can go home. So I was like, well, we're going to go ahead and give you the antibiotics by mouth. If you're still not getting better, then we're going to go ahead and start giving you IVs at home, and you're going to have a home health nurse come to your house. So I was like, whatever you got to do. Whatever needs to be done. Charlie is fine. Did I share her name with y'all? Her name is Charlie Ann Elizabeth. So Charlie Ann is fine. She heartbeat's normal. She's in there moving away, doing her thing. So she's not affected by this, but that's the whole point, is to try not to get her infected by it. So clear me before it gets to her. Let's see, is there anything else that I have left out? There's so much that I wanted to tell y'all, and I think I've covered it. I knew this was going to be a long video because I had a lot to tell y'all. But the mastitis, y'all, how it feels, my whole nipple feels like very, very hard, like rubber, like, you know how like genuine leather like feels when it gets old. That's like that, my Walmart leather, and that's what my nipple feels like, and it's like really, really hard. It's like I can't squeeze them or anything. They did an ultrasound of my breast, and they said they didn't see any abscesses or anything. So they just think it's inflammation from, you know, the milk ducts being blocked. So I'm hoping we can get this under wrap. I hated that hospital, y'all. I hate it because I've been in the hospital so much in the past 5 years dealing with my lung disease. And I've had so many times, especially when it comes to IVs, when these people give me medicine and then I have a bad reaction to it. And like every time they was coming to put something in my IV, I like panic. And then when they had to do this PICC line, oh my goodness, y'all, I had a major panic attack because the room is like small, and they have like a whole bunch of junk in there. And then it's like, if anybody watch like hospital shows with ER and how they have it set up for them to go surgery, it's like set up like that, and they got everything like covered up and to keep it sanitized, and you know, they scrub. And I'm watching them do this, y'all. This is why when people go to surgery, they knock you out. You know what I'm saying? This is why they knock you out. Nobody should see that. That like plays with your mind. So y'all, So when they're putting this PICC line in, you know, they got the surgeon, and he put the mask on and the glasses on, and he got his little thing, and I'm like, we like eye to eye looking at each other while he's in my arm doing this, y'all. And I'm just like, are you serious? Hold up. Somebody's knocking. So where was I? Yeah. So, you know, you're eye to eye. And then on top of that, you know, they had to give me radiation, you know, which was also another thing I was panicking about. You know, they wrapped me up in the lead, wrapped my stomach up, but I still was panicking about it. So then on top of that, they got the radiation, you know, of my whole chest right here. And I can, in the TV, like right next to me right here, and like I just look this way and I can see them going through my chest with the little stick to get into the vein so it could be in my chest. Yo, that will freak anybody out. They should have knocked me out. They should have knocked me out. Nobody should ever have to go through. Nobody should ever have to see that process. Like, seriously. So I'm on the table freaking out. I'm like getting hot flashes. I can feel my chest getting heavy. And then, you know, they put that they also put like one of these plastic things on me to keep me, you know, they had it on my arm, but they had to go all the way across me like that. So they had this big thing on me, and then that lead vest was heavy, and I just felt like I was like confined, and I'm very claustrophobic. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, I was about to freak out, but I knew I couldn't freak out because there's people that's in my chest with a tube. So I was like, I had to like breathe my way and pray my way, and I'm talking to God, and I'm just like, please God, let me get through this. Don't let me panic on this table, please. And it was like, then afterwards, you know, the two nurses said, the nurse would be flirting with me. Why are you flirting with me? Talking about something. Oh, you got some pretty eyes, and where you from? And then one of the nurses, I told the nurses that my feet was cold. He gonna go there and take the cover off my feet, and then he tickles my feet and start massaging my feet. And I'm like, I had to kick his head. He was about to get kicked in the nose. If that man wasn't in my arm, I was gonna kick him in his nose. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna sit up here and play with my feet, because one, I don't know you. Two, I don't like nobody touching my feet. I'm not a feet person. I don't like nobody touching my feet. If I just actually remove it off, you don't have to touch my feet to remove cover off my feet. I mean, he was about to get kicked in the nose. If that man wasn't in my arm, I would have kicked him in his nose, y'all. I'm so serious. I didn't tell my husband that. If I tell my husband something like that, he probably would have went searching for the man in the hospital. But I'm not a feet person at all. So, and then the other guy came in, and they up there, oh, I wish my girlfriend looked like that. I'm just like, who does that? I'm sitting up here sick as I don't know what. I'm pregnant, and you up here flirting with me. You and him talking about me right here and now, and I'm just like, I like totally ignored them because I was like about to have a panic attack. So as soon as the transporter wheeled me out of the room, it started. I felt it. I had to tell him. I said, okay. And then he wanted to go in the elevator. I said, you got to give me a minute before we get in this elevator, because I've already come out of confined space, and now you're about to put me in one again. And then I'm in the elevator, and I start thinking back to like Grey's Anatomy, when people like panic and then have cold blue in the elevator, and then the doctors can't. Who gonna get to me and I'm in the elevator? Who gonna get to me if I pass out or whatever and I'm in this elevator? That's all I could think about. And so, y'all, that panic attack lasted for hours. Because every time I looked at it, I had a panic attack. Every time I thought about the chest in my tube, I had a panic attack. The tube in my chest, I had a panic attack. I could not get past it for hours, y'all. I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't do, and then when you in the bed, you in the hospital, I couldn't go far because my IV wouldn't take me that much far, so I couldn't walk it off. I couldn't go outside or anything. It was just like, traumatic. I am going up on 30 minutes, y'all. I did not mean to keep y'all that long, but I just had to share with y'all what I have been through. I know I need to catch up on my videos, see how everybody's doing. I mean, I catch a few here and there that comes to my phone alerts. Like sometimes my phone alert me about new videos, and sometimes they don't. I don't know. Some people they do, some people they don't. And like if it's, I feel like it's I don't know, but very traumatic week. I can tell you that. Week 20, very traumatic. But today, well, I was so happy when I got home. Y'all, I came home and I And when I took a shower, because you can't really take a shower when you're in there, because, you know, half of your arm got to stand out because you can't get it wet because of the IV. So you sitting up there like this, and then I can't get my shirt off because the IV is connected to it, and so my shirt can't come off all the way. So I got a shirt hanging from here, so I got to take a shower. So I came home and I took a real shower, like with pulsating water on me, like instead of that little flimsy water, and got in some more clothes. I was wearing the same clothes because, like I said, you can't take the shirt off. So I had to wear the same clothes. So I took all that off, put on me something nice and comfortable, something that's not squeezing my tuck out, because I can't wear a bra, y'all. So excuse me, because if anything on them, they just hurt. So, which is another thing. It's like I go out, I don't have a bra, and I don't even care. And the only thing I don't do is I don't wear white, because if I wear white, you're gonna see my nipples because they so black. So, but I believe that is all, y'all. But when I came home, I went straight to sleep. I took my medicine and went straight to sleep. Went straight to sleep. I was knocked out. I woke up at about 5 something, took my husband to work, and now I said I'm going to get my house in order because, you know, I've been gone for 4 days, and, you know, when a woman's not in the house, you know what they can do. As soon as I came in, I was like, what is that smell? Like, what has y'all been doing? So, but it was so good to see my kids. I missed them so much. I missed my bed. Oh, I mean, even when I got in the car, y'all, I was just like, thank you, Jesus. Oh, yes. But, thank God. Won't he do it, y'all? Charlie is fine. Charlie is in there, y'all. She stays in my ribs. Every time the nurse tried, you know, they was telling me, oh, you're all in 20 weeks, your navel, your uterus is just to your navel. She shouldn't be that high. I'm going to just go down there. They kept trying to get a heartbeat down there. You go ahead. Go down there and think you're going to find a heartbeat. Charlie is up in my ribs. Sorry. When the doctor did my ultrasound, Charlie was way in. She told me my uterus is all the way up to the top of my stomach. She said, yeah, your uterus is way up here at the top of your stomach. I said, thank you, because people think I'm crazy when I tell them that Charlie be all up in my ribs, and she been up there since she was about 18 weeks. She started being up in my ribs. So, yeah. And she up there now. That's what she likes to be. She likes to be at the top of my stomach, in my ribs. But I'd rather her up there than in my pelvic, because when she's in my pelvic, I'm in so much pain. Okay, y'all. 32 minutes. Way too long. Thank y'all. I want to say hi to all my new subscribers. I know this video was like extra long, and I do apologize, but I hope that y'all got some good information from it for those who made it through. So, like I say, thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers. I will be catching up on everybody. And I have watched videos, and even if I didn't comment, it's because I just wasn't in the mood to press buttons. I just wasn't in the mood to press buttons. So that was the reason why I didn't comment, but I did watch. Even though I'm a commenter. But, y'all take care. And remember, more prayer, more power. Little prayer, little power. No prayer, no power. Bye.